Hey guys, what's going on? Brad London here. You guys know what to do. As always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's move into today's video. So we're starting off with some news about Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Chelsea have set the price for under fire goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, and that's quite ironic because we faced like the third least shots in the league, but they're quoting him as under fire because of obviously all the attention that's around him at the moment. So yeah, we've set a price, and I think you guys might laugh at this one because if we get anything close to this, Marina is an absolute like god of a woman if she can. Chelsea will be tempted by offers over 50 million to let Kepa Arrizabalaga leave Stamford Bridge, but will not accept anything below that price, according to reports. And wow, I'm not sure 50 million is anything close to what we'd get for Kepa Arrizabalaga. In his current form, he is the worst keeper in the league. Like, statistically, that just is the case. No one can really argue that. People can say that the defence has caused problems, which is true. The defence hasn't been great this season. But when you compare, we faced the third least shots, I think, in the league, to conceding an insanely high amount for where we are on the table, there has to be questions put on Kepa, and I think a lot of the fan base are now accepting of like, he's not good enough, we're going to let him go. I'm probably on that side at this point. But £50 million for Kepa, like, where's this money coming from? Who's paying this? Like, who thinks £50 million, you know, that for a lot of clubs, that is a huge transfer fee. Keep in mind, like, yeah, we're talking about spending, you know, we spent 72 million on Kepa, that's our record. We're probably going to break it on Kai Havertz, possibly. A lot of clubs don't have this kind of money. Like, we are in a very fortunate position, and I'm not sure what club has 50 million that needs a keeper, you know, that badly, and thinks Kepa is the best option for that money. Very strange one. I don't know how we're going to get this. I guess that it possibly means that we will not be letting Kepa leave permanently unless it's 50 million. So basically, we're not going to be letting him go permanently. We might send him out on loan, or he will be a backup keeper to whoever we bring in. And if we move on to the next story, also one thing before I move on is I have noticed from Matt Law, he tweeted that a decision will be made on Kepa's future after the FA Cup final, which is on Sunday. So it looks like that in itself, one, makes me think, does that mean Kepa's going to start in this final and is being given one final chance to redeem himself? Because otherwise, like, why, if you're not going to start him, then why are you making a decision then? Like, just in respect of ending the season, possibly, before you start letting people go. But then again, we've done that with Pedro. You know, we've agreed to let him go, and I guess that's a contract running down, so it's a little different. But it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I'm fearful that we're going to start him in the FA Cup final against Arsenal, and we're not going to see Willy Caballero start, which will be a big shame because I think Caballero could probably do a pretty good job in that game, and if we're giving Kepa his one last chance to prove that he can maybe do something for us, then it's possible we have a bad result against Arsenal. And if the worst case scenario then is he's at fault for a couple of goals or something, we lose the game, imagine how much his value drops again. Like, it's just, at this point, I just think keep Kepa away from the team, try and get as much money as we can, or send him out on loan so we can build up form, and then we sell him. Something like that makes more sense to me. But on the goalkeeper front, if we take a look in this article here, Chelsea have been boosted in their pursuit of Ajax goalkeeper Andre Onana, with Bayer Leverkusen pulling out of the race, reports Kicker. So I think it was a report of around 20 million euros, I think, is what Bayer Leverkusen had offered to Ajax for Andre Onana, but they're sticking to 30 million or nothing. Like, it's 30 million euros or he's not going anywhere, which I think is fair. Andre Onana is a fairly damn good keeper, so I don't think that's an unreasonable fee at all. That's quite a cheap fee, considering that Kepa's going to cost someone £50 million, which is, you know, more in euros than, I don't know why anyone would go for Kepa over Onana at this point. But it is said that the Cameroon international is one of 3 goalkeepers Chelsea are considering as a replacement. Kicker claim Leverkusen have ended their pursuit of the 24-year-old after having a bid rejected, leaving Chelsea in pole position. So I don't think we're going to see any movement on goalkeepers until after the FA Cup game. Then I think you're really going to see it'll all start kicking off. Like, you're going to see Kepa possibly transfer listed, or we're going to be offering him out to clubs for a certain fee, or setting him out on, putting him up available for loan, because he is only, I think, 25, so a loan isn't the craziest option in the world. But it's, ideally you wouldn't be putting your best, most expensive keeper on loan. And then another keeper story. Chelsea preparing £55 million bid for Kepa replacement and will pay bumper 170k a week salary. And this is about Dean Henderson, as you can see here. Chelsea are ready to make a huge bid for Manchester United goalkeeper Dean Henderson. And that is going to be huge. That's a £55 million bid, and apparently he is stalling his contract talks because of the interest that Chelsea have shown, which is interesting. There is reported that Henderson is in talks, but wants maybe more assurances of his playtime and such next season. So it's very possible that he's using our interest as a way to get himself maybe a better contract, to get assurances that he's going to be the first team keeper, that it's not going to be David De Gea and then like you might come on in the cups and if you play well you'll stick in. I think Dean Henderson is saying, look, I'm ready to go number one. If it's not number one, then I've got options elsewhere. So now it's going to be up to Man United to offer him, I guess, if this is what we're offering, 170k a week salary, they're going to have to offer something similar to that. Plus the the bonuses that we're going to be given in a transfer. There's usually bonuses, a sign-on fee, and all this sort of stuff for the player. So they're going to have to offer up a good bit of cash, and Man United maybe don't have the most cash at the moment. They're really looking like they're trying to save every penny for the Jadon Sancho deal. And, if they pull that one off, that'll be huge for them. But does that mean that they can then afford to bump up Dean Henderson's wage and give him a sign-on fee and all this sort of stuff? And they need to replace other areas and bring in squad depth. So they're going to want to keep Dean Henderson. There's no doubt about that. And if they're going to sell him to anyone, it's not going to be us. They're not going to want to sell to us by any means. Because at the moment, look at how this season's ended. Same on points. They just about scraped it with goal difference. So are they going to think, oh yeah, that team that's right next to us and is probably going to be challenging for the league with all the signings they brought in, let's give them our best keeper, because let's face it, at the moment De Gea is awful and Dean Henderson has looked really good with Sheffield United. Let's give them our best keeper and accept that we're going to lose him. I just don't see them doing it. There's also the question of whether Dean Henderson wants the deal. I think if Chelsea is saying, you'd be our number one, 100%, then I think he'd definitely be interested, especially with a contract like that. That's a big contract, 170k a week. That's big money. So I think he'd be interested, but it's very possible that him and his agent are using this as a negotiation tactic, just so they can get United to pay up the field. And we did see with Angel Gomez that that hasn't worked out for them. They weren't willing to give him a new contract. So it's an iffy one, maybe Man United really just don't have the money to be bumping up people's contracts when they want to make all these big signings, so it's an iffy one for them. Hopefully we get our guy, because I would love to have Dean Henderson at the club. So then, as you know, sometimes at the end of the videos I address your questions and stuff like that, and this one is going to be from Guy Duncan, and he asked, for the FA Cup final, would you consider doing a watch-along live stream? Now, if you guys don't know, I do live stream on this channel sometimes. I did one fairly recently, and we had a good chunk of people in there, so if you do want to get involved, I guess the easiest way to know is I turn notifications on for the channel, so it'll pop up saying, I'm live or whatever. That's probably the best way for you guys to know, because last time I was just sort of chatting with you guys in the chat, and we were having a good time. It felt like an absolute blast. I think all you guys that were in there enjoyed it. But as Guy Duncan has said, would I consider doing a watch along for the game? I would consider doing it. I just didn't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, as fans of the channel and whatever. So let me know in the comment section down below, would you want to see it, one, and two, live streams in general, something you'd want to see, because I would probably, in my next live stream, I'll probably be playing some games, maybe some FIFA, Call of Duty, I don't know, whatever game is hot at the moment, I'll probably play a bit of that. And if you guys would be interested in that, then as I said, make sure you have your notifications on. I'm probably going to, I have Twitter and Instagram, so if you guys want to follow me on there, I might start tweeting out whenever I go live or whatever, and I think that will be good for everyone. If you guys enjoy the live streams, ask anyone that was in the live streams last time. I think they had a pretty good time. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one. Watch along for the live streams. Is that something you guys want? Because if it is, then I can get on it and make it happen. It should be all good. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this one, guys. Thanks for the comment, Guy Duncan. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave them in the comment section down below, and I might address them at the end of the video. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.